Hi guys, and welcome to the Coffee and Hero Show. This is the previews edition of the show. So this is basically a once a month show as opposed to a weekly one where I'll be going through the previews books, just picking out some of the things that we're particularly looking forward to. You know, if this is your first time watching, you know, with regards to the comic industry, it's always a very interesting industry in that, you know, we place our pre-orders a few months in advance. We get these previews books for what's coming out. So these are essentially the August previews books, and these are titles that will be released in October. So as always, the best way to guarantee titles is pre-ordering them. Obviously, either trusting our opinion on them, or if you've heard from elsewhere the titles are ones to look out for, or you like a certain creator that has a new title coming out, or a certain character, of course, as well. So what we do every month is we do the previews board, which is just over there. So I've updated that already, so you can check out the Facebook page, the Twitter page, the Instagram page. It's all on there. You can see just a quick breakdown of everything that we're looking forward to most. There'll be a podcast going out in the next day or two as well, if you want a much more in-depth amount. But I like to do this as well. This is what I call the too long didn't read crowd, which is, you know, telling you the sort of books that we're looking forward to, but, you know, trying to break it all down in sort of 15-20 minutes maximum. So I'll kick things off with the DC books. So again, the books are divided into the DC stuff, the Marvel stuff, and then all other publishers, essentially. So when it comes to DC this month, of course, it's a new month. Of course, it's a new Batman title is leading the way there. So the first one you have up is Batman the Imposter. So this is from the team of Mattson Tomlin, who is actually a filmmaker. Worked on a couple of movies, one called Project Power and one called Little Fish. The main thing that has me excited for this, beyond it being Black Label and it being a 3-issue prestige miniseries, is that this is drawn by Andrea Sorrentino, of course, well known for Gideon Falls, of course did the Joker title recently, Joker Killer Smile. So big fan of the artist, sounds really, really cool. So the blurb for this one is Bruce Wayne's mission as the Batman has only been underway for a year or so, but he can tell he's making a difference. Unfortunately, he's made some powerful enemies. All the traditional power brokers of Gotham resent the disruption Batman has brought to him, and it seems one of them has a plan to neutralize him. So early era Batman stuff's always really entertaining, I think, as well. You've got the Fear State stuff continuing as well. So in terms of Fear State tie-ins, you've got Batman 114 and Batman 115. You also have a Batman Secret Files Peacekeeper 1 tie-in issue. And then the other ones to keep an eye out for are Catwoman number 36. You have Nightwing number 85. Detective Comics 1044, and I Am Batman number 2. But there's also going to be another couple as well. So you have Harley Quinn number 8 and also Batman Urban Legends number 8 as well. Beyond that, some other exciting stuff to look forward to DC-wise. You've got Task Force Zed number 1. So this looks really, really sweet. Matthew Rosenberg writing, Eddie Barrows on pencils. So a really good creative team there. This is going to be, I believe, a 6-issue miniseries. So for this one in life, they've terrorized the people of Gotham. Now they are Gotham's last hope. Task Force X saw villains working their way to freedom. Task Force Z will see dead villains working for a new chance at life. That just sounds great. Some really cool looking variant covers there as well. What else have we got? We've got a Batman Fortnite one-shot. I have no doubt that will be popular. Once again, comes with a downloadable code for an outfit. If I had to guess, based on some of the designs, maybe Red Hood. Another big one to look forward to is a one-shot, just in time for October, which is great. This is Batman The Long Halloween Special. So anybody who comes into the store and knows me well enough is Batman The Long Halloween is top 5 Bat stories of all time for me. Nips into the top 3 every so often as well, but definitely top 5. So this is the original creators, Jeff Loeb writing, Tim Sale on art, and it's just a wee one-shot. So join us for the return of the Batman Halloween specials and a mystery that could destroy Batman, Commissioner Gordon, Two-Face, and, well, that would be telling, wouldn't it? Cool looking Catwoman series starting, and again, I'm a big fan of the creator. Is predominantly an artist called Cliff Chiang, but is actually doing the writing for this as well. The main series I really enjoyed from them was they did Wonder Woman in the New 52. They were the artist along with writer Brian Azzarello, but was also the artist on Paper Girls with Brian K. Vaughan. But this one's called Catwoman Lonely City, and you can sort of get a little bit of a sense of the art there, the style. So 10 years ago, the massacre known as Fool's Night claimed the lives of Batman, the Joker, Nightwing, and Commissioner Gordon, and sent Selena Kyle, the Catwoman, to prison. A decade later, Gotham has grown up. It's put away costume heroism and villainy as childish things. The new Gotham is cleaner, safer, and a lot less free under the watchful eye of Mayor Harvey Dent and his Bat Cops. It's into this new city that Selina Kyle returns a changed woman with her mind on that one last big score, the secrets hidden inside the Batcave. So I think that sounds fantastic. That's up there as one of my titles of the month, I would say. It's going to be a 4-issue mini-series, and there's again going to be 1 or 2 cool little variants for that as well. This is a great double-page spread right here as well. This highlights 2 of the ones I'm looking forward to most in October. You've got DC versus Vampires, and you've got the Human Target. So with DC versus Vampires, this is going to be a 12-issue mini-series written by James Tynion IV and Matthew Rosenberg, and art by Otto Schmidt. So sounds really good to me. So in the tradition of Deceased comes a terrifying new series from the twisted minds of Tynion, Rosenberg, and artist Otto Schmidt that will tear the Justice League apart in their war with the undead. With Human Target, it's because, let's be honest, I'm a fully paid up member of the cult of Tom King, and Tom King is going to be doing a new series. So Rorschach is coming to an end, Strange Adventures is coming to an end. That clears up a little bit of space in the schedule for Tom King, and he's doing the Human Target along with artist Greg Smallwood, and he's back in his preferred format, the 12-issue maxi series. So Christopher Chance has made a living out of being a human target, a man hired to disguise himself as his client to invite would-be assassins to attempt his murder. He's had a remarkable career until his latest case protecting Lex Luthor when things go sideways. An assassination attempt Chance didn't see coming leaves him vulnerable and left trying to solve his own murder, as he has 12 days to discover just who in the DCU hated Luthor enough to warrant him dead. Human Target is a hard-boiled, gritty story in the vein of classic detective noirs told by best-selling and critically acclaimed creators Tom King and Greg Smallwood. So, fantastic sounding title that as well. Another one that came out of nowhere, but I'm very much looking forward to, especially after reading that Green Arrow 80th Anniversary, is a title called Deep Target, and it's subtitled Aquaman Green Arrow. So this is going to be a team-up book right here. And this is going to be 7 issues in total, written by Brandon Thomas and art by Ronan Cliquet. And it's essentially a celebratory issue because it's celebrating the 80th anniversary of Aquaman and Green Arrow. So really, really something to look forward to there. We talk about the 80th anniversary editions. We've got Wonder Woman, the 80th anniversary edition. So it's the turn of Diana Prince. And again, this is a smorgasbord of great talent involved in this. You've got stories by Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, Jordi Belair, Mark Waid, Tom Keane, Steve Orlando, G. Willow Wilson. You've got art by Jim Cheng, by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Amy Reeder, Evan Doc Shaner, and more as well. So those are always great fun. If you've a certain amount of interest in a character but don't know where to start, those are always great because they're a really good mix of titles. So they are. So I'm sure that'll prove very, very popular. And those 80th anniversary ones in general do. But another cool sounding Wonder Woman this month as well, which is Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons #1. Now I seem to remember this being announced ages ago, and then it just disappeared from release scheduling, so it did. But it's back now, and we have Kelly Sue DeConnick writing, say that 5 times fast, and Phil Jimenez on art. So the wait is over. The entire story of the Amazons can finally be told. Millennia ago, Queen Hera and the goddesses of the Olympian pantheon grew greatly dissatisfied with their male counterparts, and far from their sight, they put a plan into action. A new society was born, one never before seen on Earth, capable of wondrous and terrible things. So that looks really sweet. That's another Black Label title as well. So look forward to that. And then just a couple of ones just to finish off with in the DC side of things. Certainly for those who like their horror comics, we got a couple of new titles there. First of all, I'm delighted to see the Hill House imprint is coming back with Refrigerator Full of Heads. You may remember Basket Full of Heads from the first run of Joe Hill horror-themed titles. So this again is going to be a 6-issue mini-series. Story is by Rio Yours and art by Tom Fowler. So Hill House Comics is back and heads are going to roll for making readers wait. The new wave of titles begins with a rancid return trip to the bloody Brody Island. For a year now, the mysterious axe that unleashed pandemonium during the hurricane of '83 has waited at the bottom of the bay, but nothing that powerful stays buried. And then the other one is one under the DC Horror label. So DC Horror started doing the Conjuring ones recently, but this is a brand new one called Soul Plumber. Brand new #1, John McCrae on art, so already sold. Story by Marcus Perks, Henry Zabrowski, and Ben Kissel. So exorcism just got a whole lot easier. After attending a seminar hosted in a hotel conference room by a mysterious group called the Soul Plumbers, Edgar Winging's disgraced former seminary school student discovers what he thinks is the secret to delivering souls from the thrall of Satan. But after stealing the blueprints and building the machine itself, out of whatever he can afford from his salary as a gas station attendant, Edgar misses the demon and instead pulls out an interdimensional alien with dire consequences for all mankind. So, once again, a 6-issue mini-series for that. And then you've got the usual complete list at the back of all the ongoings that are still going on, or mini-series that are a couple of issues in, or omnibuses, that kind of thing. So loads to look forward to in DC. So where does that leave us with Marvel? I mean, the big story with Marvel this month, well, two big stories, I suppose. Amazing Spider-Man is kicking off with a brand new creative team. It's kicking off with issue 75, so Nick Spencer is stepping away from Spidey. And also Venom #1. So this is going to be the first issue since Donny Cates and Rand Stegman finished their run. And what we've got here is the team of Ram V and Al Ewing taking over. So great creative writing team. And then art by Brian Hitch as well. So we jump straight into that. And of course, Venom leads the way. There's some nice interior art here. There's a little bit of a hint of what the story is going to be. So hot off the heels of Venom 200 and Extreme Carnage, we're closing out 2021 with one of the most ambitious books in symbiote history. An all-new Venom from some of comics' greatest talents. Marvel mainstay Al Ewing, who himself has just ended a character redefining run on Immortal Hulk, is being joined by Ram V to craft a mind-bending and gut-wrenching tale of symbiosis, the likes of which the Marvel Universe has never seen. So I think that with regards to Venom, if it's on your pull list already, we'll keep you going with the new run. If you're not interested, by all means, drop us a message. We'll take it off the pull list. But by and large, I find with ongoing series, even when there's creative changes, people want to stick with the character, even if it's just for the first couple issues. But yeah, so we're getting a brand new creative team on Amazing Spider-Man, as I say, and it's subtitled Beyond. So what we have for issue 75 is written by Zeb Wells and art by Patrick Gleason. But they've got what is called the Beyond Board, which is basically almost like a writer's room, and people are putting in ideas for that, and then they're working on the scripts and the art as a result. So that Beyond Board contains Kelly Thompson, Saladin Ahmed, Cody Ziegler, Patrick Gleason, and Zeb Wells. So Amazing Spider-Man is back because this story is pure jetful. Ben Reilly, remember him, has returned to NYC and has fully taken back the mantle of Spider-Man. But what does this mean for Peter Parker? The greatest team of web writers has come together with the most epid arachnid artists ever assembled to bring you a spider story that will shake up That will shake up Spider-Man's 59th year in ways you cannot predict. What kind of a man has bats on the brain? So yeah, looking forward to that. I think that'll be a good jumping on point for people. I find with Amazing Spider-Man at the moment, Nick Spencer's run was a little bit like Tom King's Batman run. If you run it from the start, you enjoyed that long story, you enjoyed the continuity of and consistency of writer, but it was a bit impenetrable unless you could jump on it at the start. You know, you couldn't jump on at issue 40 and catch up, that kind of thing. It really was one big story. So that's Amazing Spider-Man covered. We've got the last issue of the Immortal Hulk, so number 50. So again, I pledged to read the whole thing, Keith. I have all the issues in the house now. I plugged the gaps I needed to, so I will get on board for that. But it's going to be an oversized issue 50. It's going to be 96 pages. I mean, that's graphic novel size almost. What else have we got? We got Dark Ages number 2, so still time to sign up for Dark Ages number 1. This is, of course, the world building / end of the world story being told by Tom Taylor and Iban Coelho. And also one of the big events recently is Inferno. So again, we're reaching Inferno issue 2 in this issue. So you still have time to get signed up for number 1. There is one for slightly younger readers, which could be a good thing. I mean, comics in general, you'll always find that, 13 and over, 12 and over, you're sorted. But sometimes for younger readers, it could be a little bit harder to find age-appropriate material. But we've got Black Panther Legends, and this one is being specifically aimed at sort of that age range. So that's one to look forward to. And again, if there's younger readers in your life, then get on board with that. What else do we have? We have Marvel Voices Community, which is a new number 1 shot, which is focusing on the Latino community, I believe, of superheroes. So you'll have characters in this such as Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, for example. You'll have Reptile, you'll have Nova, characters like that. This one looks really cool as well. So this is a brand new Luke Cage series. It's going to be a 3-issue miniseries, Luke Cage City on Fire. It's been a while since we've had a wee bit of a Luke Cage story. It looks like Kingpin's going to be in there. Also looks like you've got Elektra as Daredevil in there as well. So I'm not overly familiar with the creative team, I must admit. Artist is Fari Karami, and the writer is Ho-Chi Anderson. So, but I'll give that a go. Anything Kingpin or Daredevil or indeed Luke Cage related, I'm on board with that. Got continuing stuff here. One of the Marvel Tales will probably appeal to quite a few people. So we have the Marvel Tales for Miss Marvel. Marvel Tales are essentially oversized editions which collect together important issues in a character's history. So it'll mostly be origin stories, or it'll be, you know, first appearance stories, or it'll be the first time they were in their own solo title story. And that one's going to contain Captain Marvel 17, which is the first appearance, which was a wee cameo. But it'll also include things like All New Marvel Now .1, Miss Marvel 1 and 2, etc. So it's really good if you want to go back to the start with those characters. Got lots of good stuff continuing here. Moon Knight, issue 1 was so strong, whereas as far as issue 4 now, we've got X-Men The Trial of Magneto. That kicks off next week, I believe, with a brand new #1. And that's getting a lot of traction. You've got plenty of good stuff continuing with the X-Men. Marvel's coming to an end, I believe, with issue 6. A little bit of Spidey stuff, some Phoenix stuff. So yeah, it's a very strong book. I mean, there's lots of continuing stuff here, and that can never be a bad thing. But you've also got all those sort of starting point issues that we covered at the start. I mean, who's not looking forward to Thor 18 when that's the cover with Throg? Come on, who's not interested in that? So yeah, another strong month from Marvel again. Lots of really, really good stuff. And then again, you get to the back and there's plenty of great looking omnibuses which are going to just destroy my wallet. And plenty of, including one which I'm just going to point out actually, because we get asked about Young Avengers all the time, and now they're finally bringing an omnibus of that. That's a series that always gets asked about, so it is. So that'll be one to keep an eye out for. So yeah, again, loads of good stuff. And again, these books, they're always in the store. They'll be sitting in the corner. So if you come in and you fancy a quick coffee or tea or espresso, you can always flick through the books and then let us know if there's anything that interests you. So we move on to the main previews book. I'll keep this short and sweet, I promise. So they're focused on 2 big titles this month, which is Star Trek Mirror Wars and Gunslinger Spawn. So what have we got in the main previews book? So as ever, it's broken down into a category by publisher. Always has Image at the front because Image is just, well, Image. I see Ed Brubaker is continuing with his graphic novel release model. He kicked that off this year with Reckless, which of course he does with Sean Phillips. But there's a new one coming out, which is Ed Brubaker writing and Marcos Martin and Munsa Vicente on art. And this is called Friday, Book 1, the first day of Christmas. This is up there in terms of picks of the month for me. I think it's a case of great stuff. Ed Brubaker is just one of the best. One of the absolute best. If Ed Brubaker's name is on it, I'm buying it. As I said, Gunslinger Spawn. So this is the new, well, I say newest. King Spawn hasn't come out yet, but it's due before this. This will be another Spawn ongoing. So this is coming, of course, from the mind of Todd McFarlane. But there's also contributions in this by Les Cott in terms of writing. And then art, Brett Booth, Philip Tan, and Kevin Keane as well. So one for all you Spawn heads out there. A big one for me this month as well is the Magic Order 2, #1. Magic Order is incredible. It's a brilliant, brilliant series with 6-issue mini-series by Mark Millar and Olivier Coupel. They do have a new artist on board for this arc, but you know what? Stuart Immonen, that's not a bad replacement for Olivier Coupel. We've got an expansion of the Philadelphia franchise, which is Nita Hawes' Nightmare Blog. So this is spinning out of the events of Philadelphia. And again, it's the same creative team as Philadelphia, which is Rodney Barnes and Jason Sean Alexander. A big one for me, just given my consistent and continued love for Deadly Class, is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. So this comes from the writer and creator of Deadly Class, Rick Remender. Some gorgeous preview art there from Andre Arroyo. And Chris O'Halloran is on colours for that. So a really strong team there. And then you continue through Image. There's some great looking graphic novel collections. You've got a complete trade paperback coming out of Paper Girls. You've got a Saga box set, which is all 9 volumes together. Another favourite title in store. We've got Time Before Time hitting trade paperback as well. So tons of great stuff in Image in terms of collected editions and so forth. With Dark Horse, there was one I just wanted to point out, which is Hellboy, the Silver Lantern Club. So this is a brand new mini-series for Hellboy. I believe this is a 5-issue, 5-issue mini-series. So you've got Mike Mignola involved with this, co-writing along with Chris Robertson, doing the covers as well, Mignola, and then the art on the series is going to be Ben Stenbeck as well. So I do love me a little bit of Hellboy. We move along from there, we go on to IDW. So again, Star Trek The Mirror War is clearly a big one this month. Pre-orders for this are already very, very strong. So people love them, some Mirror Universe Star Trek stuff. What else have we got? So moving along, IDW, you've got a new Dungeons and Dragons series coming out, which again, I believe is 5 issues. Dungeons and Dragons Mindbreaker. So that's a brand new #1 launching. We move along, and normally I don't recommend a lot of stuff from Dynamite, but I'm really digging the James Bond stuff at the moment, and Mr. Philadelphia himself, Rodney Barnes, is writing a new one, so count me in, which is this one, James Bond Himeros. So again, the James Bond comics have been really, really stellar. They tend to be 5-issue miniseries. They're very much just hard spy genre, cold-blooded, Cold War type, era type stuff. You know, they don't try to do anything big or clever, they just tell good stories. A massive one this month, and get it on your pull list now. We said it back when Something is Killing the Children launched, we'll say it again. House of Slaughter #1. So this is a new Boom series. This again is a spin-off from Something is Killing the Children. James Tynion is of course involved with this, but is being joined in co-writing by Tate Brombal. And then it's drawn by Werther Dell'Edera, who of course is the series artist for Something is Killing the Children. And Chris Sheehan getting involved with that one as well. That's a big title this month. Do not miss out on that. And then come crying when it goes up. Stupid money. Although it'll probably not go up in the same way, I should say, because obviously the print run will be massive for that. People are a bit more prepared for it. But I'm going to finish off the indie stuff just quickly because I'm really close to being kicked out of Smithfield because I'm always the last business here as ever. But Aftershock have a really, really strong month this month. There was 3 that really caught my eye. The first one is an original graphic novel called Party and Pray. This one comes from the team of Steve Orlando and Steve Fox writing and artist Alex Sanchez. Alan is used to being ignored by younger guys, so he hardly believes his luck when Handsome Scott makes a move on him in a crowded gay club. But there's a wolf on the dance floor tonight and he's hungry for fresh prey. Just think it sounds really cool, really good art style to it as well. A very good mix of the horror, crime, thriller genre as well. This is up there with my picks of the month as well. This is such a choice, it's unreal. Chicken Devil #1. Now, wait to hear the blurb for this. Mitchell Moss is about as regular as it gets. He's married with 2 children and co-owns a successful chain of Memphis hot chicken restaurants. It's not the life that screams hero/vigilante until he discovers that his business partner is in bed with a mob and owes them $2 million. Unfortunately, Mitch is ill-equipped to be a badass. He's just a good guy who makes really good chicken. Can he protect his family from cold-blooded gangsters? Absolutely not. But maybe the Chicken Devil can. This looks class. This is written by Brian Bucoletto and art by Hayden Sherman. Brian Bucoletto did a fantastic run in The Flash in the New 52 and has also done a really good series, what's called Sons of the Devil, through Image Comics. And then this was the last one I wanted to just throw a bit of love out for. And again, I'm really looking forward to this. Again, horror-based, can't be a bad thing. This is called Cross to Bear. So brand new #1 from Marko Stojanovic with art by Sinisa Banovic. Jack the Ripper was never caught because no one was looking for him in the Wild West. No one except the Order, an organization made up of the descendants of crusaders sworn to eradicate the unnatural. The Order will stop at nothing to fulfill the pledge their forefathers made, even if it means crossing the ocean or a line or 2. So yeah, I'll pretty much cut it off there because I don't want to go into even more detail and make this even longer than it needs to be. But I will be doing a podcast, as I say. I'll go into much more detail on a lot of those titles, pick out a few more bits and pieces as well. So if you need more information, check out the podcast network and the pod will be on there. So, but again, I hope this proves useful. Again, there's just so much to cover when it comes to previews books. But again, there's the board here, there's this video, there's YouTube stuff, and then the books are all, there's podcast stuff. And then there's always the books in the corner, so come in and have a look. But that'll do it for today anyway. Again, August previews released in October. So anything appeals to you, do let us know. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Take it easy.